Hello, and welcome to the David Messiah YouTube channel, where our watchwords are to teach and to build back up the kingdom of Zion. And my name is Sidney Thomas. I'm the founder and moderator of this channel. And the YouTube presentation on this occasion is entitled Signs of the Messiah. Signs of the Messiah. And this is to be distinguished from an earlier upload I did on signs of the coming of the David Messiah. This presentation will not deal with signs of the coming, rather signs of the David Messiah per se. And I'm sort of inspired to do this because just last night I was watching a YouTube video put out by Chabad Lubavitcher group that is claiming really that their Rebbe is the Mashiach and calling upon their membership and so forth to sign some sort of an endorsement or a petition of something along that line over the internet, essentially voting him in. I kind of look askance at that because, when the David Messiah comes, it will be that he has to announce himself. Just as Moses had to announce himself. And by the way, the word Mashiach, when you look at it sort of on the face of it, it means brother of Moses or friend of Moses or one like unto Moses. So the Messiah is like unto Moses, at least in the sense of being a king, in the sense of being a priest, in the sense of being a prophet. In any case, in the sense of being a servant of the Most High. One doesn't get sort of nominated to the position by the members of one's organization. One has to be called by the Most High, as was Moses, and then one has to be sent by the Most High, as was Moses, and then one has to announce oneself as having been sent, as having been called, and as having to do with whatever mission one is then given, as was Moses. So he called Moses. He had Moses to kind of come over to that burning bush. He had Moses to take off his shoes because that was sacred ground. And he let Moses to know that speaking to him from that burning bush was the God of thy fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And here's the task I have for you. And then, of course, you have the sort of, the conversation. Well, first he's saying, well, me, you calling me to go and tell Pharaoh what? That kind of conversation has to take place. But then after he gets his marching orders, he has but to obey. And the interesting thing about that Chabad Lubavitcher video was I didn't see where the Rebbe himself said that he was called and directed by the Most High to announce himself. After he announces himself, that then becomes another matter. Anyway, that was why I kind of, felt inspired to make this video. And after having inquired with the Most High, he says, yes, I want you to make this video. And so I have done one of my sort of talks on that. It's hardly sort of a formal lecture by any means, but nevertheless, it's about an hour and a quarter long. And I give the link to it where it may be found on Google Drive. So you can download that sort of audio version and listen to it at your convenience, whether in your car, on the subway, on the bus, or while walking around, or whenever. So this is what this this video is about. I specifically want to just make the sort of summative remark here in this transmittal video that the signs per se of the Messiah when he comes will be a kind of a study in contrasts, a study in opposites in a sense. So you really have to ask, well, at what stage of his coming? Because after the throne is restored and he's on the throne, we have the Isaiah 9:6 kind of Messiah who, is wonderful counselor, mighty God, of his government there shall be no end. He shall be apparently beating, or inspiring the world to beat their swords into plowshares and etc. and etc. and etc. And yes, he will have a great following and so forth. But before that happens, we looking at somebody who is like a root out of dry ground. We're looking at one who is despised and rejected of men. We're looking at one who is afflicted, apparently, a man of sorrows. All of these, quite in opposition to the superlatives after the throne is restored. And we find where the Most High says, his zeal shall accomplish that metamorphosis, because that is what we're talking about. It's going to be a metamorphosis. So if you ask about the Messiah and what kind of signs would one expect him to exhibit, you really need to know at what stage. So with that very brief kind of introduction, I commend this talk to you. Again, you will see the link in the description box below. I will also put a link to that Lubavitcher video that I looked at last night and which sort of inspired me even to think of giving this particular talk. Okay, so with that, I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. And Shalom. All praises, all glory, all thanks, all exaltation whatsoever be unto the Most High, Iye Hawa.